All right, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Melissa, and I'm here to guide you through Energizing Yoga. We will practice together for 30 minutes. So just a reminder to listen to your body. If any stretches are not working for you, you can always skip them. You can come out and modify. And things that you'll need for your practice today is you'll want to have your yoga mat. It's always nice to have a block or a blanket close by. If you don't have those, that's okay. We can just kind of work around those. So let's start in a seated position today. You can come on down and feel free to sit in any position that feels comfortable. And feel free to sit up on a block or a blanket. That might just help to lift your hips up a little higher than your knees. And that just helps to take a bit of pressure off of the knees. It also helps to roll the pelvis forward, which can help elongate the spine. So as we start today, I just wanted to read a little passage that I came across the other day. It says, "You cannot give what you don't have. So if you want to help others, you have to take care of yourself first. This is why they always tell you on airplanes that you must put your oxygen mask on first before you help someone else with theirs." And I think that ties in so nicely to the yoga practice. I know in everyday life, we all have so many responsibilities and so many things to do. And it's so easy to do all of those things and to put ourselves and self-care on the back burner. And I love that yoga really gives us this opportunity to nourish ourselves, to recharge our batteries so that when we go out into the world, we can help others even better. So self-love and self-care is always so important. So as we start today, let's find that nice, comfortable seated position. We'll give ourselves a moment to close our eyes and simply dropping into your breath and your body. And then just noticing where your body is meeting the ground, the edges of legs and the edges of the feet. Grounding through your sitting bones, begin to lengthen your spine, lengthen the back of your neck, reach and stretch through the crown of the head. And then dropping in, we'll begin to connect to the rise and the fall of the breath. And then lengthen as you inhale and lengthen as you exhale. And then maybe allow for the exhale to be a little bit longer than the inhale. And as you breathe, maybe gently constrict your throat a little bit. So this would bring us into a breath called the Ujjayi breath, the ocean breath. And you can gently constrict your throat as you breathe in and constrict your throat as you breathe out. Take a moment to set an intention. And let's start by drawing our right hand down to the mat. We'll take our left hand up and over, take a full breath here to lengthen, and bring your left ear to your left shoulder. And then not moving with force on this one, just a nice gentle suggestion of the ear to the shoulder. We're going to bring it back and up to neutral. Left hand lowers, right hand rises up, full breath in, and right ear to right shoulder. And release. Let's put ourselves back to neutral. Take your right hand to your left knee and take your left hand up and over. So we'll bring ourselves into a nice side stretch. Rolling your left shoulder back, right shoulder under, and heart is shining up to the sky. We'll bring ourselves up to neutral. Let's take our left hand to the right knee, so arms are crossed. We'll bring our chin to chest as you breathe out. And then really trying to round your back here. So imagine creating space between the shoulder blades. Let's keep our left hand where it is. Let's bring our right arm up and over. Full breath in and out. And try to get really grounded here on that right sitting bone. Let's bring ourselves back and up to neutral. We'll take our right hand to our left knee. So arms are crossed and chin to your chest as you breathe out. And then just trying to relax the back of your head and relax the back of the neck as best as you can. Releasing that one. Let's take our hands out to the sides of the room. Nice full breath here and hands at heart, breathe out. Let's bring it forward into table. And as you come into table, maybe grab a little blanket to pad your knees. We'll take our knees, hips in line, wrist, shoulders in line. Feeling the fingers fan wide, let's lower down our stomach. We will lift up through our heart space, and tailbone will lower and crown of the head will lower. Flow through cat and dog stretch for a moment. Lengthen as you inhale and lengthen as you exhale. As you inhale, try to relax your shoulders from your ears. We'll create a little space between the ears and the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades moving down your back. And then on the exhale, really rounding your back. So imagine creating space between the shoulder blades. Let's bring ourselves to a neutral spine here. Press back to down dog and shake it out a little bit. Maybe bend one knee and the other knee. Relax your head yes, and relax your head no. As you find stillness here, let's come into plank. And so we'll ripple forward through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Knees can lower if you would like to modify. Let's bring it into Sphinx Pose, lower down to the mat. Bring your hands out in front of you, elbows in line with your shoulders, and maybe reach for opposite arms here. We are going to breathe into the nice low back opening. You can stay here, maybe press your hands down, elbows lift up, and elbows can wrap in. And you could also straighten your arms if you would like. Bring yourself into seal. Reach and stretch through the crown of the head. Let's bring it down to the mat. We'll take a full breath here. Let's press back to down dog as you exhale. And toes to the hands. Walk it forward into a fold. Shaking it out a little bit here. So maybe bending one knee and the other knee. Relax your head yes, and relax your head no. As you bring yourself to stillness here, let's take ourselves into a half lift. Fold yourselves to the mat and we'll come on up. We're gonna rise into a mountain pose as you inhale. Take your hands at your heart space as you exhale. Let's take our hands to the sky. We're gonna work with the knee down sun salutation. Fold yourself to the mat. We'll take ourselves to a half lift. Plant your hands and right foot back. Right knee lowers. Hands to the sky as you inhale. So maybe trying to be on the upper part of the right knee. That tends to be a little bit softer part of the knee, a little bit fleshier part of the knee. Bring your hands down to the mat. Let's press back into plank, high push-up pose. Moving into boat, lower all the way down to the mat. Bring the arms alongside your body, palms will face down. Take a breath here. We're going to lift the legs. We'll lift the torso and arms are lifting up. And as you're breathing here, just feel yourself rising up with each inhale. Maybe feel how the body finds a little softness in the pose with each exhale. Let's bring ourselves down to the mat. We'll take a full breath here. Press back to downward facing dog as you exhale. Bring your right leg up to the sky. We'll take a 3-limbed dog. Right foot floats forward. Left knee will lower. Hands to the sky as you inhale. Try to square your hips and your shoulders forward here so you can encourage your left hip forward, left shoulder forward, right hip back, and right shoulder back. Hands come down. Let's bring our left foot to meet our right foot. We'll float ourselves into a fold. Bring yourself to a half lift. Fold yourself down. Let's rise up. Full breath in. Hands at the heart space. Full breath out. Hands to the sky. Breathe in. Fold yourself down, breathe out. Take yourself into a half lift. Let's plant the hands. We're gonna bring our left foot back this time. Left knee will lower. Hands to the sky as you inhale. Let's feel our core engaged. So we'll feel our tailbone tuck, navel back and up to the spine a little bit. Hands float down. Let's bring ourselves to runner's lunge. Float it back into plank. Moving into Cobra pose. So for Cobra, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Glue the tops of your feet down and we'll lift up to our navel. Hug the arms into the sides of your body. Let your elbows run straight back. And almost create a little sensation like you could lift your hands off of the mat. Let's begin to float ourselves down to the ground. We'll take a full breath here. Press back to downward facing dog. Left leg to the sky, three-limbed dog. Left foot floats forward. Right knee will lower. Hands will sweep up. Let's try to relax our shoulders from our ears. We'll create a little bit of space here between the ears and the shoulders. Float your hands down. Let's come back into a fold. Bring yourself to a half lift. Fold yourself to the mat. Let's rise up. Take a full breath in as you come on up. Draw your hands at your heart as you exhale. Let's try another set of these. I really love them because they are great for opening up our quads, our hip flexors and psoas. They probably shorten when we are sitting at our desk, so it's really good to give them a nice stretch. We'll take our hands to the sky. Breathe in, fold it down, breathe out. Halfway lift. Plant your hands, right foot back, right knee lowers, hands to the sky as you inhale. Let's feel the arms really active. Feel the arms from your ears. Fingers are active, reaching, stretching through the fingertips. Let's bring ourselves back to runner's lunge. Find your way into plank. Moving into king cobra here, lower down to the mat. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Walk your hands off to the sides of the mat, a foot on one side, a foot on the other side. Elbows to the sky. Glue the tops of your feet down. Rising up. So maybe straighten the arms out. You can always have a bend in the elbows and keep those elbows pointing up to the sky. Let's begin to float ourselves down to the mat. Full breath here. Let's press back to down dog as you exhale. Right leg to the sky. Let's bend the knee. We're going to stack open through the hips here. Get that nice little hip stretch. Reset yourself back to three-limbed dog. Right foot floats forward. Left knee will lower. Hands will sweep up. Breathe in here. Feel the arms from your ears. Arms are really active, reaching, stretching through the fingertips. Let's bring those hands down. Left foot meets right. Forward, fold. Half lift here and release. Let's come on up. Rising for mountain. Hands at the heart space. Exhale. Hands to the sky. Breathe in. Fold it down. Breathe out. Halfway lift. Plant your hands. Left foot back. Left knee lowers. Hands to the sky as you inhale. Feel yourself breathing in and breathing out through your nose. Let's bring our hands down. We're going to come to runner's lunge. Float it back into plank. Holding an up dog here. Lower down, chaturanga. Up dog. Gaze off your right shoulder. Look back for your right toes. Come back to center. Let's take a full breath to lengthen. Gaze off your left shoulder. Back on through to center and downward facing dog. Left leg takes a float to the sky. Let's bend the knee. We'll stack. We'll open through the hips. Do a reset back on through to three-limbed dog. Left foot forward. Right knee lowers. Hands to the sky as you inhale. Let's just feel that breath flowing in and out through the nose. Hands to the earth. Let's take that right foot forward, coming into a fold. Half lift here and release. Let's rise up. Breathe in. Hands at heart space. Breathe out. Let's take our hands to the sky as you inhale. Fold yourself down as you exhale. Halfway lift. Plant your hands. Let's come into plank. We'll try out a sun salutation A. Holding that up dog one last time. Let's lower it down. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Gaze off your left shoulder here. Back to center. Gaze off the right. Back to center. Let's press back to down dog as you exhale. And toes to the hands. Let's walk it forward. Coming back on through into a fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rising up. Mountain pose. Hands at the heart as you exhale. Let's take our hands up. Breathe in. Hold it down. Halfway lift. Back on through to plank. High push up. Lower down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Toes to the hands. Let's bring it forward, back on through into a fold. Halfway lift. Fold it down. Rising mountain. Hands at the heart as you exhale. Let's try out a sun salutation B. So we'll bring our hands right on up to the sky for a mountain pose. Coming into chair, we'll come into Utkatasana. So you'll bend your knees, draw your weight back into your heels, let your toes be light. Float it forward into a fold. Bring yourself into a half lift. Come on back to plank, high push-up pose. Lower down, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Right leg to the sky. Let's take a three-limbed dog. Right knee to your right tricep. We're going to do a little float and tap forward. Send it up and float it back. Take your knee into your nose on exhale, round. Send it up and float it back. And take your right knee to your left tricep. Float it up and float it back. And step your foot through. Let's come to a runner's lunge. We'll begin to bend and straighten the front leg. So as you're flowing here, if you need to, you can always bring your hands on blocks for support. You can always lower that left knee down onto the ground for support. And most important alignment cue is just to make sure that your right knee and your right ankle are in the same line. So we just don't want our knee to be moving too far forward here. Let's take a moment here. We will straighten our front leg. You can fold yourself over, coming into a runner's stretch. Let your spine relax. Relax the back of your head and relax the back of your neck. Right knee bends. Let's take the right hand to the sky and exhale, twist. Runner's twist. As you breathe in, feel your spine lengthen. As you breathe out, let your twist deepen. We'll lower the right hand down. Core engages. Let's spring forward. We'll try out warrior 3 pose. We'll try a balance warrior. And then as you're aligning here, find your drishti. Let's find that one spot to focus your concentration, to focus your awareness. And once you find that spot, not letting the eyes shift at all. Let's come into Crescent Warrior from here. So we'll bring our left foot back. Left heel lowers. Give yourself that time to square your hips and your shoulders forward here. So take our left hip, left shoulder forward, right hip and right shoulder back. Keeping the hands reaching up, we are going to kick that left leg out in front of us. So we'll just spring off that back foot. And then as you're having your leg out in front of you, let's lower it down for a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring it back to warrior 1 pose. And then as you're aligning here in warrior 1, try to feel the hips and the shoulders squaring forward. So we'll encourage that left hip forward, left shoulder forward, right hip back, and right shoulder back. Bringing your hands behind your body, fingers interlock, palms touch. Let's take a nice full breath to lengthen. Fold yourself down as you exhale. Try to relax the fronts of your shoulders and just noticing if that helps you move deeper into the shoulder stretch. Let's engage our core. We're going to float ourselves back on up. Reset to warrior 1. Float your hands down to the earth. Land in runner's lunge. Step back into plank. Right hand to the sky. Let's come into side plank. We'll try out Vashisthasana. So for side plank, bottom leg lowers for less. Top leg can rise for more. And you can always come down onto your forearm for a little less of a stretch. Let's reset ourselves back up through into plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Let's open our chest and open our hearts. Press back to down dog, breathe out. Left leg to the sky, 3-limbed dog. Left knee to left tricep, float it forward, do a little tap. Send it up and float it back. Knee into your nose on exhale, round. Up and back. Let's take that left knee to the right tricep. Up and back. Step it through, big float forward. Runner's lunge. Begin to bend and straighten your front leg. So this is a really great flow for the legs and the hips. Really great flow for the low back. So as we move through this, just notice if the stretch feels Very similar on this side of your body to the first side of the body that we worked on. May feel very similar and may feel very different one side to the next side. Straighten your front leg. Let's fold forward. Let your spine relax. Try to relax the back of your head and relax through the back of your neck. Left knee bends. Left hand to sky on exhale. Take a twist. And then as you're twisting here, left shoulder is rolling back, right shoulder is under, heart is shining to the sky. Lowering your hand down, core engages. Let's bring it through. We'll try out Warrior 3 pose. Feel really grounded through all the parts of your left foot. We'll press through the inside, through the outside. And then notice your body's natural tendency, if you tend to roll in or tend to roll out. Let's bring ourselves into Crescent Warrior from here. We'll be right up on the toes of our right foot. Right heel is lifted. Square your hips and your shoulders forward, and then relax your shoulders away from your ears. Springing off your right foot, let's kick that right leg right out in front of us. We're going to take it down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring it back to Warrior 1 pose. Let's get that really nice calf stretch here. We'll get that nice hamstring stretch. Inhale and exhale. Let's bring our hands behind us. Fingers interlock, palms touch, lengthen, and fold it down. The core engages. Let's rise up. We'll reset to Warrior 1 pose. Hands float to the earth. Let's bring it to runner's lunge. Step yourself back into plank. We'll take a high push-up pose. Lower down chaturanga. We'll come to our up dog here. Press back to down dog as you exhale. Engage your core. Let's float ourselves forward into plank, and we'll take that left hand to sky as you exhale. Side plank, Vashisthasana. So feel free to take those modifications that we worked with before. Try to feel that top hand and top hip energetically rising to the sky. Reset yourself back into plank. Lower down chaturanga. Up dog. And downward facing dog. Let's bring our toes to our hands. Walk it forward. Come into a fold. We'll take ourselves to a half lift. Fold yourself down. Let's try chair, Utkatasana. And then coming on up to mountain. We'll bring our hands at our heart as you exhale. Let's bring our hands onto our hips. We're going to drop our hips back and down for chair pose. Right foot takes a foot back. Maybe hang out here. Maybe do a little tap down. And then right foot meets your left foot. Left foot floats back. Maybe lower and do a tap. Reset yourself back to chair. We're just going to take ourselves side to side here. Flow with your breath. Good. Let's come back. We're going to release into that chair pose and then fold yourself down into a forward fold. Let's bring ourselves into a half lift here. Fold yourself down to the mat. Let's come on up to stand. Full breath in. Hands at the heart space and full breath out. Let's work a little bit with the balance. We'll try out a pose called Dancing Shiva. So for this one, fingers will interlock. We'll reach for the front of the knee. And then give yourself a moment to pull that knee into your stomach and into your chest. Hanging out here, maybe right knee to the right. Give yourself a little hip opener. Left hand to the left. Maybe the index and the thumb come together, finding a mudra here. Can do a little reset back to center. Right knee floats to the left. Maybe gaze off your right fingertips. Breathe in and breathe out. And then we're going to float ourselves back to center. Take your knee to your chest, nice breath here. Right foot lowers. Core engages, left leg rises. Let's take that left knee to the left, right hand to the right. Gazing off the right fingertips. Bring yourself back to neutral, float it up and in. Left knee to the right. Left hand to the left, gaze off the left fingertips. Give yourself that nice twist, get into the waist a little bit. And reset, we're gonna float ourselves back to center. Take your knee to your chest, release your foot down. Let's take feet a little wider than hips. We're gonna sweep arms side to side. And release, let's square ourselves back on up. We'll take our feet in line with hips, hands to the sky, full breath in. Fold it down, breathe out. Take yourself into a half lift. Put your hands, let's bring ourselves back into plank, high push-up pose. Lowering all the way down to the mat, we'll work with boat or a bow pose. So boat, arms along your body, palms face down, legs lift, torso lifts, everything's lifting from the mat. For bow pose, bend your knees, reach back for your feet, lifting those legs up. So we're going to create a little sensation of kicking the feet into the hands. Breathe into a back bend here. So we want to breathe into our low back, mid back, and upper back. Try to open the chest and the heart. Try to relax your shoulders back and down. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's begin to lower down to the mats. We'll take a full breath in and pressing back to a child's pose as you exhale. Let's bring our hips to our heels. Let your heart lower down. Just give yourself a moment here just to melt into the stretch. Maybe create a little bit of movement, maybe shifting around side to side. Get really grounded here in your body. And we'll bring ourselves up into table. From table, sweep your feet to the right or the left. And let's try out a seated pose. As you come into seated, maybe relax your hands onto your legs. Take your chin to your chest as you breathe out. Take your right ear to your right shoulder. Flow yourself back to center. Take left to left. Back to center. And we'll just do a little circle here. Circle in the other direction. And then bring yourself back into stillness here. Let's take our shoulders up to the ears. We'll create a nice large circle and relax your shoulders as you exhale. Take your shoulders up, back, and down, and release. Let's go one more time here with the breath. Draw the hands at the heart space in prayer. We'll take our hands into Anjali Mudra. And ending with a little excerpt I came across. We all come to yoga for vastly different reasons. To connect to our body, our breath, each other, a greater purpose, our community. We come to connect. Yoga in Sanskrit translates to union, to join. It pieces together that which was never actually separate. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. It's great to be here with you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.